All right, so today we're going to watch a video that really changed my opinion about foreign intervention and really made me kind of America first. But anyways, let's watch this video together.
We get massive benefits from Israel. Israel shares the Mossad is one of the best intelligence sources on the planet. The enemies of Israel, the people who hate Israel, they all hate us. It's almost a perfect overlap. And so if we tried to recreate, if we're just trying to defend America, we tried to recreate the national security benefits of our alliance with Israel, it would cost, I don't know, 30 billion, 300 billion.
So can you elaborate? And again,
So on this whole thing that Israel provides us a lot of benefits, I used to actually kind of believe that. And again, I'm open to getting my mind changed, so tell me what you think. But kind of started watching Nick Fuentes a little bit, obviously, and some of the other creators online, and they were kind of talking about how one of the things is like we don't really have any bases in Israel, and Mossad has been trying to spy on the United States for quite a while. We've had moments of that happening. Again, I'm not really like politically versed that well, but just trying to formulate some kind of opinion.
Into this as someone who's always liked Israel and still does. But I also think at this point, given where we are, it's fair to ask rational questions about what the benefits are.
Good.
So does Mossad share all of its intelligence with us?
Oh, probably not, but they share a lot. We don't share all of our intelligence with them, but we share a lot. It's a close alliance.
Do they spy domestically in the United States?
Oh, they probably do, and we do as well. And friends and allies spy on each other. And I assume all of our allies spy on us.
And that's okay with you?
You know what? One of the things about being a conservative is that you're not naive and utopian. You don't think humans are all... Part of the reason socialism doesn't work is the mantra from each according to his abilities to each according to his needs doesn't work. As a conservative, I assume people act in their rational self-interest.
So it's conservative to pay people to spy on you?
It's conservative to recognize that human beings act in their own self-interest, and every one of our friends spies on us. And I'm not...
Do you like it? That's my question. I'm not asking whether they have motive to do it. Of course.
So as we're watching this video, I can't believe we've elected somebody like that into office. Well, first off, but as I'm watching, I'm like, what are you trying to excuse? You know, like, I've been pretty, like, neutral when it came to this stuff. And then, like, when I started watching this interview, I seen it on YouTube, I was shook. I mean, based on his responses, I was just like, how can somebody be in office saying these kinds of things that are really, I mean, not really pro-American, it seems like, to me at least.
I understand that. And
by the way,
I'm not mad at them. But you're an American lawmaker, so I just want to know, hold on, I want to know your attitude. Yeah. You said that your guiding principle, in fact, the only principle, the only criterion.
I said guiding, the overwhelming, I wouldn't say only.
Is it in America's interest? Is it in America's interest for Israel to spy on us, including on the president?
Nope.
It is in America's interest to be closely allied with Israel because we get huge benefits for it. And you want to see the clearest...
But I just want to stop on the spying for a second. That it takes place, as you know, and including on the president of the United States and several presidents. And I just want to know if that's okay and why is it okay? Wouldn't an American lawmaker say to a client state, you're not allowed to spy on us? I'm sorry. I know why you want to. I'm not mad at you, but you're not allowed to.
Sure.
And I don't care for it. I don't want to be spied on by you. Is that... It's kind of weird not to say that, but you don't seem able to say that.
It is weird.
Sure, I would say don't spy on us. They're going to anyway. And by the way, the Brits are, the Canadians are. Like, I don't think...
Well, I'm not for that at all. I think it's disgusting. But we don't actually pay their... You know, we're not their most meaningful sponsor. We're not sort of paying for the operations of the British government.
So I gotta say, and this is, it's weird.
And I gotta say, the classic Ted Cruz right there.
We're talking about isolationists, the obsession with Israel. Why is Israel...
Oh, I don't think I'm obsessed with Israel.
Okay, but I think a lot of people are. And like the question, Israel spies on us. Well, so does every other country. Why are you mad at Israel?
I guess, no. I'm hardly the one who's... I've never taken money from the Israel lobby. Have you?
Taken money from the Israel...
From AIPAC.
So AIPAC raises a lot of money for me, but it's actually a misnomer because the people who raise money are individuals. Right. So it's not the PAC itself, but they're individual members who believe in the American-Israeli friendship and relationship.
Is AIPAC a foreign lobby?
No, it's an American lobby. It's the AIPAC stands for the America-Israeli Political Action Committee.
What does it lobby for?
So, to be honest, not a whole lot effectively. Listen,
This is the part of the interview where it gets really interesting because it's obviously AIPAC funds a lot of politicians that are currently in office, and I feel like someone like Ted Cruz should probably at least know a little bit more about the organization in itself. at least more than what he's saying on the interview.
To Congress 13 years ago,
Yes.
with the stated intention of being the leading defender of Israel in the United States Senate.
Great.
And I've worked every day to do that. AIPAC, a lot of times, AIPAC, I wish were much more effective. Like, there are
But hold
folks
on.
on
But what do they
online
do?
who are in
I
the
thought they
fever
were-
swamp of
aren't-
terrified of AIPAC. And AIPAC,
I'm not terrified of AIPAC at all. You're the one who seems a little uncomfortable when I'm asking.
no,
this.
not uncomfortable at all.
I'm just asking what AIPAC does. My
I
understanding.
mean, clearly everyone watching it can tell that Ted Cruz is getting uncomfortable about it. And another thing about AIPAC, don't they actually boast on X and their pages about politicians that they support getting elected?
Having known a lot of people
I
who
could
work
tell
at
you,
AIPAC,
I
is
deal
that
with
it
them all the time.
lobbies on behalf of the Israeli government.
Wrong.
Oh, okay.
It's
When
objectively
was the
wrong.
last time AIPAC took a position that deviated from Prime Minister Netanyahu?
All the time.
Name one.
Okay. Let me go back and give a little history. If you want to do a deep dive on AIPAC, we
I don't. I want to do a shallow dive that gets.
no, I'm not gonna do a
I
simple-
want to get to the core question. AIPAC is lobbying for a foreign government, and I
False.
don't. It's not.
No.
It's lobbying for the United States.
It is lobbying for a strong U.S.-Israeli relationship.
That
Okay,
provides for-
So it's not has nothing to do with the foreign government.
It wants America and Israel to be closely allied.
Okay, but
okay.
it's lobbying on behalf of the interests of another country.
So that's not true at all. And if you
not true.
no, and
So I could actually kind of see what Ted Cruz is trying to say. He's basically just saying the organization is meant basically for an alliance rather than Israeli interests only. It's mainly just for an alliance. It's supposedly supposed to benefit both sides. So I could kind of see what Ted Cruz is trying to say at least.
How much contact do you think AIPAC leaders have with the government of Israel?
no idea. I
Any, do you
imagine
think?
some. I think the government of Israel is often frustrated with AIPAC
you
because
think there's
AIPAC's
any
not nearly strong enough.
Do you think there's any coordination between the government of Israel and AIPAC?
Do they talk? Sure. If you're lobbying for more U.S.-Mexico trade, would you talk to people in the U.S. and Mexico and the government? Sure. Like if
So I'm not mad about that. There are a million countries that lobby Washington.
Ted Cruz keeps switching up on what he's saying actually throughout the
And
video too.
I like a lot of those countries, including
okay,
Israel.
but AIPAC are Americans. They're not Israelis.
Hold on. There are tons of Americans who lobby on behalf of foreign governments. I know them. I'm related to some of them. I know how it works. I'm from here. So my question is not, is it outrageous that foreign governments lobby the United States? They all do, okay, including Israel. My only question is, why don't we admit that is what's happening? You're denying it, but it's true.
Yeah,
and
but
why
because
aren't
what
they,
you're saying is false.
Why aren't they registered as
you're
a foreign
sa-
lobby?
Because they're not.
They're
Okay,
not a foreign lobby.
No, they're not. And this
Okay.
is that there's a fever swamp. Look,
It's not a fever swamp. These are very reasonable questions. And you've accused me of being obsessed with Israel, which I'm not.
I actually haven't. I've said
And of being
isolationists
feverish
are.
about it, which I'm not at all. I find it's a very tender spot when you ask it, and I don't know why.
It's hardly breaking news. The U.S. dollar has been great.
Through this advertisement.
Link below or visit.
So, Tucker, all right, let's go back. I was first elected to the Senate in 2012. I came in Obama's second term. And I actually saw AIPAC be badly wounded in a way they never came back from. And the second term is when Obama did the Iran nuclear deal. And the Iran nuclear deal, I think, was catastrophic. And AIPAC went all in lobbying against it.
Yeah.
And they failed. And I was the leading opponent of the Iran nuclear
Oh, I know. They definitely.
So in the beginning, he was kind of a little bit glimmering towards the fact that he doesn't really know much about AIPAC, and then clearly he does now. All of a sudden, when Tucker kind of starts pressing him about it.
Yes.
They failed, and what happened, the Obama White House told every Democrat, when I got here, there used to be real bipartisan support for Israel. That has largely disappeared. And it's the Obama nuclear deal that caused it, because the Obama White House told every Democrat, pick. You either stand with Israel or you're a Democrat and you stand with the Obama White House. And almost every single Democrat member of Congress said, I'm a Democrat first, to hell with Israel. And then I watched as AIPAC, every one of those Democrats got reelected and AIPAC did nothing about it. And it dramatically reduced AIPAC's influence.
I
It would
agree.
Be, it
I
would be
watched
as
it
if-
happen.
And by the way, I told AIPAC, I said, look, the analogy, if the NRA was supporting a bunch of politicians and cared about the Second Amendment, and you had politicians that vote to confiscate people's guns, and the NRA turned around and raised money for the people who voted to confiscate guns, you know what? No one would ever care what they said again.
So you're making the case that AIPAC is not as powerful as people say it is, and I completely agree with you. I've watched that, and I'm not making the case that AIPAC is all powerful and they're running everything and putting fluoride in the water. I'm not making that case at all, because that's not true. I'm only trying to get to the question of what AIPAC is, and I don't think you're being straightforward about it. AIPAC is lobbying on behalf of the interests of a foreign country, and they're not registered. And you're saying, no, that's not true.
Tucker is right. He's not being straightforward about it.
You're saying that they don't coordinate with the Israeli government.
Of course, I coordinate. Do they talk with them? I don't know what they do. I can tell you.
But why don't you care? Isn't it meaningful if a foreign government?
Hey, I talk with Israel all the time. I talk with foreign countries all the time.
But the law is, and a lot of people have been prosecuted under this law, that if you are lobbying on behalf of foreign government, you must register. That's it. It's really simple. And I don't know why, if I'm working from Malaysia or Qatar or Belgium, and I'm working on behalf of its government's interests through a group of Americans who are representing the friendship between those two nations, I have to register under the Foreign Agent Registration Act. And if I don't, I can go to jail. And people have gone to jail, including people I know. So I don't understand why.
This right here is the point in the interview where I was full on convinced. I was like, whoa, this is a shocker, because, yeah, I mean, Tucker's right. AIPAC, if they actually do have some kind of relationship with the Israeli government, they should be registered.
Don't just be honest and say they're lobbying on behalf of a foreign government, they're coordinating with the government. You know that that's true.
That is not only not true, that is false.
They're not coordinating with the Israeli government?
Do you know how AIPAC raises money?
What?
For elected officials, like what they do, like what the actual mechanics is?
Yeah, I mean, they go to people who are sympathetic to Israel and raise money and then send it to candidates who agree with them.
So what they'll do is, so in my last election, AIPAC endorsed me. And they'll host a fundraiser. And they'll host a fundraiser in Dallas or Houston or Atlanta or New York or LA. And they'll do a fundraiser and they'll get someone who will host it. And it's usually a business owner, lawyer, doctor, someone who hosts it. And you get typically at an AIPAC fundraiser 30, 40, 50, maybe 100 people who live in that city,
right?
Who care about a strong U.S.-Israel relationship. Yeah. And if they have, 50 people, each of them writes a $1,000 check, and you raise $50,000.
Yeah, I've been to an AIPAC fundraiser. I know what it looks like.
But that is not, and by the way, there's no representative of the Israeli government there. You have, when you're in Dallas, you're meeting with...
This is such a false and silly conversation. I know all this. The question is are AIPAC's goals shaped by the goals of the Israeli government to any extent?
Okay, that's
a really
different
simple
from
question.
Lobbying on behalf of.
It's a simple question. Are AIPAC's goals shaped by the goals of the Israeli government? And I'm just going to ask you that question straightforwardly. And if you say no, I think we both know that's not true.
Okay, are they shaped by?
Are they coordinating with the Israeli government?
Are they talking with them? Yes. Is Israel directing them? You want to talk about FARA? The law on lobbying on behalf of someone.
Yeah.
It is, I hire you and you lobby on behalf of me. I direct you. Does Israel direct AIPAC? No, they are not lobbying on behalf of them. Do they care about them? Yes, but...
Do you think that, it's just interesting because what you're now describing in a very defensive way, I will say, is foreign influence over our politics.
No.
No. Okay. Anyways, this video made me question a lot of things. So again, I'm not that well versed in politics. However, I love having conversations. I love listening to the other side. Love hearing what other people have to say. And kind of based on that, I like to formulate my own opinion. Curious what you guys have to say. Leave it in comments. Please leave me a video you'd like me to kind of watch. And thanks for watching.